In my previous video, I talked about using this IFSUM function to calculate the number of first, second, third, and fourth choice votes for different candidates. And if you want to just set up your spreadsheet similarly, you can input a preference schedule with the number of voters across row 1, and each of these will represent ranked votes. We have 6 voters who had the exact same ranking, with C, then D, then B, then A, for example. And if you copy this formula, this is sum if, it is looking in row 2, and I left that one free to fill down, so that way we can look at first, second, third, and fourth when we fill down. It is looking for that letter, which is in B7, and I locked in the 7 so it won't fill down, but I left the B without the $sign so I can fill left and right to get the other candidates. And then it will look and it will add the number from the range row 1, which is fully locked in. I'm staying in that row for all these different versions. Now I can fill down to find, for example, the first, second, and third choice votes for A, and fill to the right to find it for all the candidates. And I can find a sum down here to get the total number of voters. That should also just be the same as if I highlight across A and find a total there. Now, for someone to win a majority of the vote, they would need at least half. So we could say that's B12 divided by 2. We could even throw in a round up function there. Round that up. That should round that up to a whole number. We need at least 21 for a majority. And we see here, looking across the top, nobody has a majority of that first place votes. We could instead possibly look at a plurality, which would be someone has just the most votes, and in that case we've got C winning by plurality there. Sometimes we look at a method called plurality with elimination, or with instant runoff, and in that one, for example, we would remove A because A had the lowest number of first place votes. But then we would look at the people who voted for A and say, who did they cast their votes for second? Okay, and so the people who voted for A, actually what I need to do is go up here. Here's 5 people who voted for A, and they put B in second. So we would say B has 10 votes here, 10 votes for first place, plus these people in this column right here whose candidate got eliminated will now throw their votes in, and that will move it up to 15 that we have for B. And we would also look for other instances with A on top, and that doesn't even happen. But we end up with B winning this election with that instant runoff method. Now, there isn't necessarily one specific or best way to arrange this if you are going to do that instant runoff voting. What I would recommend is adding a row here for runoff votes and total votes. Now this would be per candidate. So that this total may not be useful anymore. You can even get rid of that if you want. And so the way I would do it is basically say, first eliminate the lowest candidate. So I'm going to actually just eliminate A. A's second, third, fourth, none of those votes matter. If you want to, you could just shade that or strike through. But A is going to be gone. And I will look for any column where A is in first. And I'll mark that as well. And now B is going to get the votes from that column. So it's essentially like I'm taking these 5 votes for A and moving them over to B. Go down by 5, go up by 5. So that means we'll have 5 runoff votes for B, and B will be the sum. I don't even need to use the word sum. I can just do this C10 plus C12, and I could do the same thing all the way across this row. Now, they didn't get any runoff votes, but we have a clear winner now. B, who is actually third place, jumps to first, and it also kind of shows one of the biases of this is a candidate that's sort of maybe just a crowd pleaser, crowd favorite, but not necessarily a strong individual candidate, could win in this style. We might potentially have a situation where we have to do a second round of eliminations. Here we have a situation where we would eliminate C first, C only having 4 votes. So I will cross out C here. That's going to remove this group here. This 4 people, we're going to, instead of giving their 4 votes to C, they will now give their 4 votes to D. And we see that now it creates a tie between D and B. So we need a second round where we eliminate A. And A has sort of 2 occurrences. Let me make that a different color. We'll go orange for A. And here in both column C and in column E, just holding Command or Control to multiple highlight there and get those 2 columns. Starting with these 6 people, their candidate A was eliminated. Their second choice C was also eliminated. That means this 6 people are going to add 6 more votes to D. That'll move the runoff votes up to 10 for D. These 5 people, their top choice A was now eliminated. Their second choice was B. We have 5 people transferring here. Now we only have left B versus D, and it is close, 19 versus 20, but we see D coming out as the victor there.